I've seen a lot of miracles. I mean, I'm seeing them every day. And I don't think they ever weren't happening, I just think I wasn't recognizing them. About 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with a tumor that's on my pituitary gland. And it's not cancerous or anything like that, but it causes infertility, and it can cause, there's different side effects that can happen if you're not mindful of it. And so I've always had a hard time having children. And most people with my condition, they might have one, maybe two children. And so we had our first two children, and that in and of itself is a miracle. And you know, I definitely did not expect to have any more, or of course we wanted more. We both came from large families, but we were just kind of leaving it up to, you know, our Heavenly Father, if that was meant to be. And we were really hoping, we're like, oh, we'd love to have another one. We could even just one more. But my body, of course, wasn't doing what it needs to have children. One day, he was 5 at that time, he came up to me and he says, Mom, when are we gonna have another baby? I'm like, buddy, the body's not doing what it needs to. Mom's body's not working in the way that it needs to have another baby. And he's like, oh, okay. And so then 2 or 3 days later, he comes up to me and says the same thing. Mom, when are we gonna have a baby? He would come up to me about 2 times a week for about a month, and he would ask me that same question. I'm like, bud, same answer. I'd give him the same answer. I'm like, okay, I just told you the other day, and the other day. And so one day I was kind of leaning back on some stairs, and he comes up to me and he looks me in the eye and he points at my belly and he says, Mom, look at your belly. There is a baby in there. And he said it so strongly that I was like, whoa, maybe I should look into this a little bit further. I didn't say no. I just said, all right, we'll check it out. And so I told my husband, I said, will you go get a pregnancy test? And he's like, oh, really? I'm like, I just want to rule it out. Tucson just keeps talking about this all the time. And he told me today, there's a baby in your belly. So I just want to rule it out. And so, and I can't even tell you how many pregnancy tests I've taken that are all negative, just so many, over and over and over again. It's heart-wrenching. And so for me to just be like, all right, we're just gonna rule it out. Just fully expecting a negative. And so we went and got a pregnancy test, and it was positive. I went and told Tux, I'm like, buddy, you're right, there is a baby in there. And he was just like, I've been telling you that for a month. And it was then, he didn't say that, but he was like, yeah, I know. And so, but it was at that moment that I realized he wasn't telling us, hey, when are we going to have a baby? He was saying, when are we going to have that baby? And so that was a huge miracle for us. That little girl, her name is Azariah. And the name it's biblical. Azariah is Abednego's Hebrew name. And it means God's help. And then just throughout her pregnancy, I had a subchorionic hematoma. And so I was bleeding almost constantly for the first 6 months of my pregnancy. And the first time that I went to the emergency room, I was like, oh, we're gonna have another miscarriage. I was just sure of it. But at the same time, I was really filled with peace. I was like, oh, this is unusual to be filled with peace when you're on your way to the emergency room. But I realized that a lot of that peace was coming because I kind of felt like I felt a lot of peace, and I felt like the baby was going to be fine. And a lot of that just came from, I can't imagine Heavenly Father would tell a 5-year-old that we were going to have a baby if we weren't going to have a baby. And so I felt like it was a tender mercy to help me have peace during those 6 months when it just didn't seem like it was going to work out.